I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back to True Crime Thursday.
We do need, I need the what is it? What is that show on TV where it goes dun dun? We need that on it, you know?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we do need
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
better like
something
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
Yeah,
Nope, we'll figure
makes
it
it
out.
more serious. Yeah.
True.
So,
So, everybody, hello. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing really, really good because I'm doing fantastic.
same, same. It's
Okay,
it's a day closer to the weekend, as it always is on True Crime Thursday.
it is a day closer to the weekend. I'm sorry, I'm pulling up new notes. So,
Okay. Do you want
okay.
me to lead? Would it be
You can
helpful if I
lead.
led?
You can lead
Should I
this
lead?
and I'll add
Okay.
my yeah. I tried to lead you guys and
Yeah,
I
we had.
actually just started. You know what happened? I didn't research and I was just making up my own story.
Yeah, we
And I
one
got
of one of the
caught.
yeah. One of the challenges that we found is getting pulling information for some of these cases, because like this is one of the lesser known cases, I would say,
Yeah.
that we've done. And with those, sometimes you find information that you think is like true, and or you think you find a good source, and it turns out that the names are wrong. And they always say on what those TV shows, some of the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
That's what I
We
was
just
doing.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was just changing. Although I don't know, but anyway, let's get into it. So, the story that we're talking about today is the murder of Christina Parcell. It happened in 2021 in Greer?
Green.
No,
I have green.
you have
Oh,
Greenville.
Greer,
See
Greer,
this
Greer. No, I
Greer.
have green.
Okay,
Greer,
good.
Greer, Greer,
Okay,
Greer, Greer. Sorry.
Greer, South Carolina.
My glasses don't work.
Yeah, I don't know. Something tonight, because I had something else that was off anyway. But it at first I think it seemed like, kind of a standard, somebody broke into the house kind of murder case.
Yeah.
Um, and when you get into the facts, it's really kind of it's kind of like, it seems like something that would be on one of those like TV, like CSI shows, really, because it's that kind of strange story. So, on October 13th, she was murdered in her home. The body had been stabbed over 30 times. And actually, I guess let's take a step back. And prior to all of this, for what I guess over a 10-year period, she had been in a custody battle with her ex. And I guess it was kind of a heated, nasty kind of custody battle
Yeah,
to
they
go on
definitely
for
weren't
10
getting along.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
to go on for 10 years, it had to have been. And the story I have says ex-partner, which tells me maybe they weren't married, I guess. But his name was John Mello, or is John Mello. Um, and the one thing that was a little odd the day of the murder, and I guess so she was also engaged to, do you have the Bradley Post, right? Was the fiance's name. Um,
Yeah, Bradley
and
Post.
he was actually the one who came home, and found the body, and I assume called police then. Um, and one of the strange things about the body, she was stabbed over 30 times. They actually found the body surrounded by rose petals, which again is a little
Ooh,
odd,
so
right? I mean,
eerie. So
yeah,
eerie.
yeah, yeah. I think on the original recording of this, you had mentioned it kind of gave like serial killer or stalker vibes, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
they even said like as they did more like investigating on Christina, they learned and obviously you learn more about the victim. I have that they found a history of relationships that she had with
mhm.
controlling older men and also shocking evidence on USB drives in the home, along with a perpetrator who appeared to be on what he believed was a mission from God.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
I didn't have that one. Wow, that is crazy. And
Yeah.
see, I was gonna say, I wonder if the rose petals were more of an attempt to kind of, throw the investigators off the trail, do something that makes it look like something else. Um,
Oh yeah, because she was
but
41 and her fiance was 65.
oh wow, okay.
Whoa.
So she,
No
yeah,
judgment. No judgment.
huh.
Um. So okay. Yeah. Um. Hold on. So I'm sorry, you guys. I had to change up all my notes, and this is really bad radio. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Don't tune away since it's apparently radio. Do you want
Yeah,
me to
it's
just
radio.
keep going and you
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
jump in
Keep
when
going.
you're
Keep
ready?
going. I'll
Okay.
keep jumping in.
Okay. So basically, like when they start looking into it, um, they have a suspect, and I'm not sure. I did have in my notes where the suspect, like how they came up with this guy as a suspect, because the person who they arrested, who was convicted of this, really had no relationship directly to Christina at all. It was a guy named Zachary Hughes. Um, and yeah, like as far as they knew, he didn't in any way like know her or anything like that. But I thought they said they had captured on like a security video a bicycle, and this guy was riding around on a bicycle. So apparently he committed the murder, went out, hopped on his bicycle and pedaled away.
Well, an interesting thing as well is that it was clear that she had been dragged throughout the home, and then she was placed in the front room, posed and covered in rose petals.
Yeah,
The
that's wild.
coroner later also ruled Christina's death as a homicide due to multiple stab wounds,
Stab wounds.
sharp force injuries. She was stabbed at least 31 times with a sharp object. Um, at the time of her death, she was also the mother of a 9-year-old daughter. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned that she was a mom, but she was the mother of a 9-year-old daughter in elementary
Hmm.
school, and she was working at a veterinary hospital. So at the home, investigators found memory cards and a laptop computer near Christina's body, along with a clear Ziploc bag that contained a white powder substance. I wonder what that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Ziploc had spots of dried blood on it. Her cell phone and purse were also located inside the home, with two envelopes each containing $500 in cash. They also discovered a firearm inside a bag located in a suitcase in one of the bedrooms. Police also found more USB drives and a plethora of paperwork related to an ongoing custody battle with the father of her daughter. Um, he was a music producer as well.
The
John Mello,
John Mello. Okay.
the father of her daughter, yeah,
The father. Right.
her
Yeah.
baby daddy,
Yeah. I had read it referred to him as a pianist too. So he apparently played the piano.
and was a music
Um,
producer. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
too.
and the one thing says, so surveillance footage from the area shows a person near the home around the time of the murder and someone leaving on a bicycle. And the investigators also identify vehicle data placing a truck associated with Hughes in the area that day. Hughes being the guy who was
Yeah.
convicted with a bicycle in the truck bed. So apparently parked. I mean that it makes me think anyway that he parked the truck somewhere else, took the bicycle out, rode the bicycle there, committed the crime, rode the bicycle away, back to the truck.
Um. So this is where it gets weird, guys. On October 19th, 6 days after Christina was murdered, her fiance Bradley Post was arrested and charged not with her murder, But as part of a child sexual abuse material investigation. Investigators had discovered evidence of this child sexual abuse material during the search of the home, where they discovered Christina's body and obtained images from his cell phone, which he had turned over to police as part of the investigation. Oh my gosh, like obviously thank God they found him because like that's so weird. But
Right.
imagine like, oh yeah, here, take my phone. I had nothing to do with her murder. And then you get arrested. I'm not trying to laugh at him. It's just like
No.
then you get
No, but it
arrested
isn't.
for like something completely, I would say equally as crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Imagine like, oh,
and
come
so it
on.
makes me wonder though too with the USB drives and
Yeah.
all that, like were those related to that? Like in other words, because as we get further on in the story, Zachary Hughes did not know Christina, but he did know John Mello. He did know the ex. He did know
Yeah.
the baby daddy. Um, and so and they also he also, by the way, John Mello, that is, was charged with an accessory before the fact, which I've always heard accessory after the fact, but accessory before the fact, you're just an accessory.
True.
And solicitation related to the crime, which tells me that he paid Zachary Hughes to do this. And it kind of makes me wonder, and maybe you have some stuff on this because I didn't find it anywhere in any of the stuff that I researched, but kind of makes me wonder if there was something happening to the daughter who the custody battle was over, and um,
Yeah,
you
because
know
the
it.
dad got custody. John Mello, I did see that he got custody of the daughter. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
But
and it makes you wonder if the whole thing with the child, child abuse, child pornography, whatever was going on there, if it
yeah.
was related to that, and that's why they did it. Although in that circumstance, why would you do that? Why would you off the mother? You think you'd off the fiance?
Well, because according to FITS News, police discovered more than 15,000 images and videos of child sexual abuse material on 9 electronic storage devices while searching the home where Christina was murdered.
Okay, there we are.
15,000
That's
images
insane.
and
That's
videos.
insane.
I want everyone to like go to their camera roll right now and like see how many like videos you have total in your camera roll. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot.
By the way, normal pictures and videos.
Normal pictures and videos. Like now imagine that. Just actually don't imagine it because it's awful. But like
No. Yeah, it's horrible.
it's a lot. Okay, that's not just like a few
Yeah.
things here and there, which would
Yeah,
still be
like when
weird and
you're
bad.
having to buy that many extra USB
Devices.
storage devices
You got a problem.
for that, like go
Yeah.
talk to I keep saying this on these episodes, go talk to Jesus. Like
Oh, right.
it's I mean, like go talk to somebody.
So,
But
yeah, and then by February 2022, that's when Christina's daughter and one of her female friends were listed as defendants in 2 civil lawsuits against or alleging Christina Parcell and Bradley Post took pictures and videos in states of undress and in sexually provocative positions.
wow.
Alleging, yeah.
So
Um,
the daughter and a friend of hers?
the daughter and a female friend of Christina's were listed as
Oh.
defendants in 2 civil lawsuits alleging, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Based on these lawsuits, the motive for Christina's murder emerged. Um, so yeah, that's when on November 3rd, 2021. Oh, we're leaping back. February February 2022 was when the civil lawsuit happened with her daughter and all that. November 3rd, 2021. That's when Zachary Hughes was charged. Um, it says prior to him turning himself into authorities, he had been preparing to begin a new job on an international cruise line. Oh, that's a bummer for
Wow.
him.
Yeah. and concerning if you were going to go on that international cruise line.
Right.
The,
That's
the the
wild.
odd thing about him is he had no prior criminal history. So this wasn't somebody that was out doing this kind of stuff all the time,
Well,
and
yeah.
was or he'd never gotten caught maybe, but
First time
kind of
for
strikes me,
everything,
yeah, I mean, it kind of
you
strikes
know?
me that if he's admitting to it because he did admit to it,
Yeah.
like that quickly,
Yeah.
and they had DNA evidence and all that, um,
Well, they did say that
it probably was his first time,
her DNA was found under, or his DNA matched the DNA found under her fingernails.
right?
It's so crazy how they, I guess like if you scratch somebody, now your DNA
Yeah,
is
yeah, right. Never thought about
under
that.
their fingernails. That's kind of
And
crazy.
thank God I've never thought about that because
Oh my
that's never been
god,
a circumstance I'd be concerned with.
that's real crazy. Um, so it says they also used information from flock camera footage to put together a timeline of his whereabouts. Um, Flock cameras are license plate recognition cameras that capture vehicle images and
Oh,
license plate data, which is then used by law enforcement and local communities. So, guys,
interesting.
it's 2026 now. Flock cameras been around since
Yeah.
2021, okay? Like, let's just
I
not
don't
commit
I wonder if they're
crimes.
in all states though. I wonder if
I don't
those are in
know.
all states.
I
There
have
was a
heard about
show
that though.
on there was a show on that was a reality show a couple of years ago and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. But
Yeah,
it was the premise of the show was like people who were basically on you were they came to, I mean, you had to clearly have signed up for it ahead of time, right? But they
right.
came to your house, they told you, okay, you have, 2 hours you're to start running and we're going to send people chasing you, and they had to arrange where they were going to go, how they were going to hide,
What?
all that kind of stuff. And it was basically like if you lasted so long without these investigators finding you,
You're put
you
on a
got like
list.
$1 million or something like that. No,
Yeah.
it was kind of like a Amazing Race, but in
Yeah.
reverse, I guess would be the way to put it. But that's a very long story that has nothing to do with this with what we're talking about. But that was the first place that I saw them using the license plate reader cameras because these investigators, and they were actual like criminal investigators that were the ones searching for people. They
Yeah.
were using those to try to track where their cars were, and I was like, "Oh, they have those. That's pretty cool."
I think I mentioned it on another episode of something, but yeah, I heard that like a lot of times they'll literally put license plate readers on like garbage trucks or
Yeah,
mail trucks and things like that because that's a vehicle that is going literally all over the city, like literally door to door,
right.
all around town. So they'll attach license plate readers a lot of times to garbage trucks and stuff because
Hmm.
that's how they catch people that way.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
guys.
And the thing is, people would argue like Fourth Amendment that somehow it's unlawful search and seizure for them to just be looking for your license plate. But
Yeah,
the thing most people don't realize is you're like if you get rid of your car and you no longer need the license plate, you're technically supposed to turn that back into the state because you never own that license plate. The state always owns the license plate. You're just
yeah.
utilizing it while you're paying, to have it on your car.
Um, yeah. So in Greer, that's when police found the flock camera footage, and it showed the bicycle on the back of the truck. So that's what found it. That dang license plate camera will get you every time, guys.
Yeah.
Um, they also uncovered that Hughes and Mello had been communicating, like you said, through WhatsApp, probably because they knew it's an encrypted messaging app. So,
Yeah.
like, that makes you look more suspicious
Yes. And they said it was over like 1,700 messages exchanged
in,
between
like,
them.
literally planning the murder of Christina,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is crazy. Um, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Uh, it's just telling me about Hughes. Sorry, everybody. I know I had to redo my notes and I'm all over the place now.
You're still playing catch up.
I'm still playing catch up. So,
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he was a pianist as well, and oh, I guess he was a big pianist before COVID-19 happened. We don't really care about him though because he planned a
Yeah,
murder. But
yeah.
so, okay, the trial of Zachary Hughes began on February 11th. On the second day, it's so crazy, like reading all this now. So, like a little behind the curtain, y'all. Like I had like five suspects on my old notes, so it's kind of funny that we're just talking about one.
Yeah.
Um, so it began on
And who
February.
knows? Maybe they were suspects, and we're just doing the abridged version. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kind of
but
sounded like though, based on the timeline, like they had found this guy pretty quick. So
yeah, I didn't know that the trial was just last year though. So his trial began on February 11th, 2025, which is crazy when you think about the fact that her murder literally happened in 2021.
right.
Um, so the second day of the trial, the judge ruled that any evidence of the child sexual abuse material involving Christina and her daughter was not allowed to be introduced as evidence, despite objections by Hughes' attorneys. I kind of hate that. I know there's like certain rules and stuff, but I feel like character wise, I mean, I guess they're looking at it like as long if it doesn't have anything to do with the murder, like leave it
Yeah, I mean
out.
the thing is, I think you would have to that's it. If your defense was, I didn't do this,
Yeah.
clearly it was somebody related to this other thing that she had going on.
Yeah.
That's different. If you're just
Right.
trying to use it to undermine the person that was murdered, then yeah,
Yeah.
they're never going to allow that kind of thing in court.
Yeah. Exactly. Because at that point now you are just it's kind of like you're grasping at straws now like no, he
Mhm.
did it. And by the way, he's also a weirdo. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So on day three of the trial, according to Court TV, the jurors heard from an investigator that had nude pictures of Christina linked to an escort website, along with a letter that said the victim worked under the pseudonym. Do you know that word?
Yes.
Pseudonym. I was just making sure I was pronouncing it correctly based on our last episode. I just
You
didn't want to
you
be like
you did.
pseudonym.
Yeah, no, you
I knew
did
it
great.
wasn't that. Thank you.
You you did great.
Um, Carolina Ward. It wasn't clear when she was working as an escort because at the time of the trial, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office said the escort website was no longer active. But I'm
Mm,
assuming they would still be able to find evidence of that. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
But I guess
Google
they're trying to,
Cache.
yeah, they're trying to use it as like it could have been someone from this website. Like,
Right, right.
um, so the 2020 episode about this case is what featured a representative from the Greenville County Sheriff's Office that was refuting this information, and he said from what they could tell, the nude photos were from Christina's time when she was in a relationship with Mello, and it looked like someone had tried to copy and paste her information onto an escort website through
Uh,
photocopying. They didn't seem to link or think that this was legitimate. So,
so it was maybe him trying to, through the custody battle thing, trying to uh
or set,
undermine her.
I think if anything, it makes it like if John Mello and what's this other guy's name? Zach
Hughes.
Hughes.
Zach Hughes.
If they were like conspiring together a murder of her, to me it
Oh,
looks
sure.
like they were trying to set it up, like set her up on a website to make it kind of give themselves like not an alibi, I guess, but just like no,
Reasonable
look,
doubt.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
reasonable doubt. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
that's all they're
Like
going for.
they were putting her on that and
Yeah.
but I guess that's where we talk about stupid criminals because it's just like I don't know, I guess in your mind like you really just think like this is gonna work, and they're never gonna
Yeah.
link these photos back to photos that I used to have or whatever. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
they're
that's it.
never gonna make the connection.
Nobody's going to look at this and say, well, this looks like it was photo. And there's ways that when they do
Yeah,
image analysis, they can
literally stripped
identify that it's been
everywhere.
photoshopped. Yeah,
They
there's
they
ways
did
they can
that
do
in
that.
the what was that case? The Amber Heard, Johnny Depp,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
where they were like
Well,
literally.
that wasn't really a true crime situation, though. That
No, it
wouldn't be a good
wasn't.
one to talk about.
That would be a good one to talk about, though. I think drama, but
Yeah.
but yeah, they did that there where she was like saying like a bunch of photos or whatever, and they literally were debunking it because they can like pull
Yeah.
apart that photo basically and see
Yeah.
everywhere that you sent it or everywhere that it's from, and if you saved it from a photo editing app, like shoot, I could see if you saved it from a photo editing app, or if it was a
Mm-hmm.
screenshot, or if it was saved from Snapchat. Like, I
Yeah.
know how to debunk it.
Yeah.
So, jurors also heard about the hundreds of messages that Mello and Hughes exchanged on WhatsApp, which I think is very telling. The messages contained a lot of coded language and the use of numbers in place of characters. Prosecutors determined that the two men had conspired to send out packets containing nude photos of Christina, including the attorney assisting Christina with her child custody case. Um, Mello was living overseas at the time, but Hughes helped him with his campaign of his harassment. That's wild. Her fiance and
Yeah.
ex-man like just working against you. She didn't stand a chance. Cell phone records showed the two men talked for 2 hours the day before the murder and an hour and 20 minutes on the afternoon after the stabbing. Um, Something I think is like worth noting. I think it's like sometimes also really suspicious to me. Maybe it's just because I like watch so many episodes of like true crime stuff, but
Oh, I thought you meant of our show, or of our episodes.
it's always telling to me when when the day that she was that he found her, he had called her like a bunch of times, like blew her phone up, her
Mm-hmm.
fiance. And
Mm-hmm.
then that he was like, "Oh, this is weird. I'm going to head home." To me, as maybe it's just like knowing the details, it looks weird because like I can never imagine like a time that I'm at home. Adrian knows I'm home, blows up my phone. I'm not answering. Like, I don't see him calling more than like two, three times. I don't answer, like, and him leaving work and coming home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the person though. Like if it's a situation where normally you call and the person answers right away, or if they
Yeah,
don't answer right away, they text and say, "Hey, can't talk at the moment," or
yeah,
if that's unusual behavior, I can understand it more.
true. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I don't know if she has anyone close that he would reach out to instead. I think it said that she
True.
had
Yeah,
like a
that's
friend
true.
or a sister or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, so Zachary had hoped to convince the judge and jury that he had committed the murder in defense of others because John believed his daughter was being sexually exploited by Christina and Bradley. However, his defense team failed once again to get the evidence about explicit messages introduced as evidence into the trial. Which, if I'm
That's
the
wild.
jury, like I'm already throwing this case out just in merits of like you're grasping at every like 1 minute you're saying like, well, no,
Maybe
look, she was on this uh escort website. Look, her pictures are
right,
right here.
right.
And you know what? I did it to help everyone else because she was also exploiting like my
Yeah,
daughter.
yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like once you've gone down a path of saying, "Oh, well maybe it was this person." You don't know, and then you say, "Well, yeah, I did do it, but I did it for a good reason." Nobody's ever gonna, aside from the fact that like you don't get to determine that because you're not judge and jury, and executioner. That if that's what's going on, like report it to police. If that's what you were trying to do, report it to
Yeah.
police. You know,
Yeah, especially if it
not
involves your
you know,
child. If you think your
yeah,
child is really that's
yeah,
happening, like I would assume that you're definitely gonna, especially if you have evidence against her on it, but you don't.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so on the sixth day of the trial, that's when Hughes testified and shared all the details of the day of the murder. He bought a gun, a knife, and a gift box to hide the gun and the roses. He put together a murder kit with gloves and paint thinner. Um, Mello had told him that their daughter would be in school that morning and Christina would be alone in the house. Hughes knocked on the door and told Christina he had a delivery from Lutina Parcell, her sister. When Christina told him Tina wasn't home, he forced her inside with the gun. Crazy. Oh, Lutina.
wow,
Christina and Lutina. Okay, I get it. Um, so he told the jury that he had reservations about carrying out the murder, but he felt the only way to protect Mello and Christina's daughter was to, um, I guess, go
yeah,
with the plan that he went with. Christina tried to fight back against the attack, but he overpowered her and stabbed her to death. He feared that the gun would cause too much noise and alert the neighbors, which is why he stabbed her. He tried to use paint thinner to wipe his DNA from her fingers after she died from her injuries because she had scratched his face during the assault. That's crazy.
yeah. Also, clearly that doesn't work. So
Yeah, so hey, take that off your
I
list,
don't know
guys.
where he got, I don't know where he got that information, but it was bad information.
He told the jury that John Mello had offered to pay him to take the life of Christina Parcell on two different occasions, but that he refused. That's crazy.
Wow. So this was in the works for a while then.
Although the judge had warned Hughes not to make any references to the sexual abuse or images, he violated that order three different times, and by the end of the day, the judge found him in contempt of court and sentenced him to 6 months in jail. Later that evening, John Mello was arrested at his home and charged with accessory before the fact. So that's where that came from. He
Mm-hmm.
was also charged with a solicitation to commit a felony.
Oh.
So he had two charges. Um,
Oh yeah, I see that.
oh, because I guess solicitation to commit a felony, which is murder. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's because he offered to pay.
Yeah. Um, on February 20th, 2025, Zachary Hughes was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison. The jury also convicted him of burglary, second degree harassment, conspiracy to commit second degree harassment, and possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a crime. And
Yeah.
they made that decision in less than 3 hours, y'all. So I'm surprised it even
Yeah,
took that
well, I
long.
mean, I feel like once somebody's admitted to it but tried to say, but I had a good reason, like you have no choice, right? I mean, because
Yeah.
it wasn't self-defense. It wasn't like he was saying it was self-defense. He was trying to claim some other reason for doing it, and that's not, you said you did it.
Yeah. So Bradley Post, he remains incarcerated at a South Carolina detention center awaiting trial for third degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor and third degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Crazy. And then
Right?
John Mello, the ex, he's also still incarcerated and awaiting trial for his involvement in Christina's death. The custodial interference charges against him were dropped in April of 2024.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the and that's what made this one crazy to me. I mean, a couple of things like the fact that the guy that did it again had no prior criminal history or anything like that, which even makes it kind of crazier that the ex was going to him to get this done, because it's not like this guy was like a professional killer or something like that, you know. Um,
Yeah.
and then just the offshoot piece of the fiance and what happened there, and then to make it even more like twisted, the fact that it may actually have been related, you know, that's why it happened.
Because of the
um
fiance.
yeah, it makes
Yeah.
it even
I
more,
agree.
because like I know it, before I said you think they would have just gone after the fiance. At the same time, if what they're claiming is that the mother knew about it, the mother,
Yeah.
you know, maybe even facilitated it. Yeah, well, I mean, there's no reason to kill people. But then I go, okay, well, now I get that at least. I don't
No, for
understand it.
sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
excusing it. I'm saying,
Yeah.
okay, as an excuse, you can, you know, a motive, you can
No, exactly.
see that as the motive.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. I don't yeah, I'm not really I don't believe too much in what do they call it? Like vigilante justice.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I do think like a lot more was probably there's a lot more information I think out there than what was allowed in the Zachary Hughes trial in the first place, but
Right. Right.
you know, who knows? Everyone, I think I think what, to be honest, I think why they killed her instead was for a couple reasons. One, they knew that they could take her. Like she tried to fight back, it said, but he was too, you know, he overpowered her. He might not have been able to overpower the fiance the same. Um,
True. Yeah, that's
and
true.
I mean, I guess he could have shot him, but as it said, like I think he mostly used the gun as like a threatening option, just to like get her in the house and be
Right.
quiet, rather than what he actually planned, a way that he actually planned on killing her.
Right.
That's why he
Right.
had the knife as a backup. Um, and then I also think that because the fiance had all that stuff on his phone and they had the stuff on the computer, that's why the laptop and the USB drives were like sitting next to her body at the scene as well.
Right.
They
Right.
probably knew to an extent that investigators were going to want to look at his phone.
Right.
So that's how he was caught in the first place.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the thing about that is, at the time, the guy who was doing the murder
Yeah.
probably thought he was being so cautious and clever and all that he wasn't going to
Yeah.
get caught. So they do the murder, then they leave all the evidence of the other stuff there, so that when the police come and find the body, they're they're
They
gathering
look
all
right at
that
the
as
fiance.
evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And the
yeah, that
fiance
too.
probably also thinking that the fiance was going to be suspect number 1 anyway, cuz that's just how it always is.
Sure.
Even though in this way, I feel like the ex-husband was more suspect number 1 just cuz they had such a aggressive ongoing custody battle.
Yeah.
Real messy. Real messy, and I guess I would say that everyone involved in this case really
Yeah.
nobody ends up winning. And I did
Yeah,
read
no.
that the daughter is living with family friends of her dad.
Okay. It would have been
Yeah.
really weird if it ended up she was with family friends of the fiance or something like that. That would have made it
No,
even stranger.
that would have made it
Yeah.
crazier.
They also say that there are still questions around the extent of planning that went on, like how
Yeah.
extensively the planning was,
Yeah.
and if there were other people involved too, which might go into the stuff that you had on the previous version of this, where there were some other names involved. It could be that
Yeah.
that's what that's talking about. But
Yeah.
yeah, and obviously the broader context that led to the attack, kind of what we already talked about was the motive, because the dad and this Hughes thought that they were protecting the daughter by doing that. Like you said, like vigilante justice, that only works in comic books, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, so anyways, guys, if you've heard of this case, let us know your opinion on it. If you haven't heard it, then I hope you stayed till the end so that now you know about it and leave your opinion as well.
And and if there's a different version of this than the one we told, you know, please feel free to tell us because we've gotten different versions of other ones that I don't
Yeah.
think are accurate, but I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe our information, we've already learned that our information can be wrong.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah, let us know.
anyways, until next time, everybody have a great weekend. Don't murder people.
Yeah.
Don't what's another
And
one?
don't, you know, don't do the child pornography thing. How about that?
Oh yeah,
That's another
definitely
one.
don't do
This
that.
is a rare case where I
And
feel
paint
like
thinner
there's a high
doesn't take
potential. Exactly.
DNA under the
That's
fingers.
the big takeaway. No, this is a rare case where I feel like there were no good guys. There was a
No good
victim,
guys.
but no
Yeah.
good
No
guys.
good guys.
So,
No good guys. So, yeah, except the jury. They're good guys.
right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Thumbs up. Yep. Thanks, guys.
Bye.